about the Kenyan Premier League because it's still on the same line. It matters to do with the local football. And very, very quickly, we'll go to the fixtures of the weekend because we have a host of matches. We have the matches that will be enticing the soccer fans here in the country for Saturday. At the same time, we have different matches that will be played come this Sunday. And when we talk about the matches that will be played Sunday, I know we are going to be highlighting one special match that KTN will be broadcasting live, and that is Kariobangi Sharks against Gor Mahia. But before that, let's talk about today's tie. Today we have different matches that will be on that menu. Let's start about Nakumatt FC, who will be going up against Sony Sugar. We will be having those actually on the planner so that we move through with that. What's your take? Nakumatt against Sony Sugar, not an easy match, but who do you think will have what it takes? Or we start with Bandari against Wazito.
Bandari against Wazito. Now it's a brilliant match in the sense that it tests Wazito. It tests their mettle. It tests to see whether they're as strong as their name suggests. Wazito in Swahili means heavy. Are they heavy enough for Bandari? Bandari, of course, much more experienced, much more exposed. I reckon Pip Wazito on this one. Yep.
Okay, saying that he reckons Bandari, but you never rule out Wazito. They are showing that they have what it takes to dance against the soccer bigwigs here in the country. Kakamega Homeboys, another team that is trying to show its wits, going against Vihiga United. When you talk about Vihiga United, people expected it, that side, to have a bang this time out. Things are not going their way so far.
They had a bang on social media, didn't they? Lovely. Wonderful. Their jerseys are out, in case you'd want to look like a Vihiga United diehard fan. Derbies, lovely. Always promise so much. The fans come out, guns blazing. The media love derbies. Everyone loves a good derby. But I tip Kakamega Homeboys based on the fact that not just that they're playing at home, if at all it matters, but experience.
Yeah, Bukungu will be the venue for that match, but he's saying Vihiga United are doing the social media talk. Let's see what people thought that would have been a force to reckon after the few seasons they've been on the Premier League, but financial constraints seem to be a headache and a nightmare for this team.
Yes, very true, because the thing about corporate sponsorship is that when the corporate sponsor gets hurt financially, the first victim is usually the sporting club that corporate sponsor is actually investing in. So yes, you can imagine Nakumatt perhaps has taken a pounding, but that should motivate them, to be honest. It's all to die for. Sony Sugar have an upper hand, if you ask me. But yes, I think Sony Sugar, if you ask me, they could steal a draw at worst.
A draw at worst?
Yes.
We'll see. Those people who might want to put their money where he's saying a draw at worst. Posta Rangers against Chamilil. When you talk about Posta Rangers, Pamzo, he seems to be doing something good with this side, you'll agree.
Yes. And if you watch them play last season, you'll definitely agree. 150%. Posta Rangers are a side that the name Posta hasn't really been associated with football, but because of Posta Rangers, we can now talk of Posta in connection to football. And I think they should nick that one, if you ask me.
On Sunday, Mombasa United, they are dancing on top of that log right now. They are going against Sofapaka. Remember Sofapaka, a team that has a lot of new recruits yet to gel, but at least they seem to be finding their foot.
It's the best time to find your foot at this time of season. You want to start on a high just as you would want to end on a high. It makes the job easier. Look at Manchester City. They're just coasting through right now. Same with Barcelona because they started on a high. Sofapaka want to start on a high. Mombasa United have begun on a sort of fairy tale run, which I don't see going the whole hog. This is their true test coming up against a side that you have rightly put it, have been walking the talk. Mombasa United, Sofapaka, too close to call.
Too close to call. Very, very quickly, just your prediction only. Kariobangi Sharks against Gor Mahia. They are the mighty Green Army, but they need to walk and maybe swim past those Sharks.
It's going to be a tall order. It really is because, well, Gor Mahia are a very good side. They've got continental experience-ish, and they've got strong league experience over especially in recent years. Kariobangi Sharks, I fell in love with this side last season. They stole my heart, and they've earned the right to keep it, given the fact that they've started on a high. I just spoke of starting on a high. I think we're looking at the possibility of Kariobangi Sharks. The worst they could do here is a draw, but they could lose. But I think the worst they could do is a draw.
The worst they could do is a draw. When you talk about FC Leopards, they have been wounded. It's a big cut. But yes, they have maybe what it takes to go out there and be able to bag maximum points against Ulinzi Stars. But remember, also Ulinzi Stars, they want to be impressive. Not any match will be an easy match in this weekend's tie. Very, very quickly, let's move from that. And we just take a look. We'll have also Tusker FC will be playing against Nzoia Sugar. Zoo FC, arguably the whooping boys of the season so far, because they are receiving goals left, right, and center.
I can confirm they are the whooping boys so far. Yes. They're a side that wants to be up there with the big boys, but they're not head and shoulders with the big boys yet. I think Thika United should come in strong. This is a clean 3 points for Thika United. Football is unpredictable. It has no manners. But I'd bet on Thika United, to be honest.
Saying football has no manners, he will bet on Thika United to go out past Zoo FC. Remember, Zoo FC, they've actually collected the ball 9 times from the net this season. So that tells you things are not that good. They got 4 in the first game, got 4 in the second game. The third game got 1. What will they receive against Thika? Let's just take a look at that standing. Because you're talking about this table, you said it's too early to call who might be able to go all the way and bag it. But as it stands, Mathare United leads on 7 points. They've been able to win 2 and had 1 draw. Gor Mahia on the other side, they have played lesser games, but on the 2nd position. Sony Sugar on the 3rd position, Bandari on the 4th. Very, very briefly, what do you take on the first 4 best teams in the current Kenyan Premier League as it stands?
Oh, this is very temporary, to be honest. It's still early days. The true characters of these sides haven't shown. The injuries haven't come in yet. They're going to come in. The firing of coaches hasn't come in yet. It's going to come in. That's what happens in football, especially in this day and age, when it's so competitive and the jobs are not secure for the coaches. I think Gor Mahia, and should I go with Sony or Bandari? Either Sony or Bandari will remain up there and contend for glory. Mathare, I don't see. I think they'll go down slowly.
Last season, a lot of people talked about Mathare and how young their squad is, but they've racked in, they've brought some experienced players. We have the likes of Aluanga. He scored a brace in his first outing. Do you think they will have what it takes to push on, maybe and maybe finish top 8? You never know. They might even remain on top.
I think they'll go down from a few levels below. They're definitely not contending for it.
Let's go to the other side of that table. We talk about position 5. Chamil Sugar is on position 5 of the log, while Kariobangi Sharks, a team that actually want to make a huge statement, is on position 6. Ulinzi Stars, for me, I always call them perennial underachievers because they've won it 4 times. Remember how they did it with the bank from the 2003 there. The last time they won it is in 2010. They seem not to be having what it takes to compete with the other boys from the last time that they won it in 2010.
I know. Perhaps divided loyalties, you know, they've got other responsibilities, which the logo there tells you what those responsibilities are. But then again, I commend them. I'm not going to be too hard on them. They've done a superb job. Look where they are. It's early days, right? But look where they are. It shows consistency. As you've said, fine, they haven't won it since they last did, but they've always been somewhere there contending for it. I'm very impressed with them, I must say. Very.
Yeah, they do duty for the country in other spheres. We talk about Ulinzi, and yes, they do just for the country. Let's see if the foot soldiers will have what it takes actually to be able to rack in goals on their side. Nakumatt is on position 10. We talked about their struggles. Talk about Sofapaka. They never started with a bang. Actually, people expected them to rack in some impressive goals against Bandari in that tie. But remember, they went down 3 without a reply. So they are on the 12th position. Let's go to the other side of the table. And when we talk about the other side of the table, we have Tusker on the position 16. Who expected the Brewers? Are they drinking much?
They need to spill over some this way if that's the cause for their 16th position. Anyway, it's early days. I think they'll come up slowly, up to some mid-table level. If not that, then there's a crisis. And it means they'll be battling in a situation that's not supposed to be for them. Remember, this is a side that used to be called Kenya Breweries. It brought us so much glory. Henry Motego. Big names that played for Kenya Breweries back in the day. Then they changed their name to Tusker. They have the wherewithal in terms of history, and I expect them to come up slowly, mid-table level.
I think for viewers, for the AFC Leopards, just a slight mistake that's supposed to be one, because remember, they drew in their only game that they have played so far in the Kenyan Premier League. But the last 2 teams in this log, we're talking about Sugar Millers, that is Nzoia FC, and Zoo Kericho. They have not even secured a single draw as we speak.
That's normal in any league. You'll always have the whooping boys, and you look forward to playing them. This is where you get your 3 points from. Come hit them hard, home or away, and bag your 3 points. So it's normal to have teams at the bottom. Zoya should pull up. They've got the name that suggests, I mean, they've been playing in the top tier for eons. They should pull up. Zoo FC have been struggling, and I reckon they'll be having a long season of struggle.
It's like a long season of struggle, but anything